What would happen if you stopped paying taxes? Don't act like you haven't thought about it. I won't act like I haven't thought about it, because when I see my paycheck come in, and it feels like half of it, but I think it's only like 30%. Not only. It feels like half though. And that hurts. So let's dive into what would happen if you just stopped paying them. It's not pretty, but it is wildly entertaining. So let's dive in. First off, let's cover the basics. Taxes pay for roads, schools, healthcare, and a bunch of other stuff that we usually take for granted, if that's even where it goes. That's where they say it goes, and I hope that it goes there. But let's just, for argument's sake, say that it goes there. And for argument's sake, let's say you're feeling rebellious and you just want to quit paying Uncle Sam. Here's exactly what would happen. So the first thing that would happen is you would get some kind of correspondence from the IRS that will say, pay your taxes or we will destroy you. Usually it takes anywhere from a few months to a year for you to get that death threat. They will try to reach out a couple times, I'm pretty sure, but this is considered the gentle nudge phase. Annoying, but you're pretty chillin' here. Then you start getting into the dicey zone where fines and penalties are gonna start becoming an issue. So you get those death threats for a few months to a year. You don't do anything about the death threats. Now they're gonna fine you and give you penalties. So those gentle nudges quickly escalate into less than friendly penalties. We're talking hefty late fees and interest piling up, but let's say you're super stubborn and the gentle nudges don't faze you, the fining doesn't faze you, you keep ignoring them because you are determined to never pay another tax dollar again, but still live in the United States. What's gonna happen to you, you might ask? Asset seizure. So yes, the government can actually take your stuff. So if you own a car, if you own a home, a boat, anything that you could own. What do rich people own? I'm poor, so I don't even know, but they can take all your stuff. I just have chickens, but they can take your fancy stuff too, if you have fancy stuff. So yes, the government can take your stuff. They can take your money from your bank, your car, your property, whatever, to cover what you owe. Ever seen a grown adult crying because their beloved sports car got towed? Trust me, it's not a good look. But honestly, if you are an old dude driving a sports car, you should willingly give that car up and not wait for the IRS to take it from you, because it's a bad look while you're driving it too. Let's say you are extremely stubborn, and at this point you are more stubborn than me. I would have tapped out, but you've ignored the legal action, you've ignored the fines, you've ignored them towing your car away and seizing your house. The government is then going to bring out the real big guns, which is legal action. And this is when lawyers become your best friend or your worst enemies. Lawyers aren't cheap, especially tax lawyers, because what are you going to do? Not hire a lawyer? You are stubborn, after all, remember. And the last step is jail time. Yes, it can really come to this. Al Capone, for instance, he was a famous gangster, but he didn't go to jail for bootlegging or bribery. It was because the IRS got him for tax evasion. So, anybody can go to jail for this. You don't mess with the tax man. But there's more. Even if you avoid prison, your credit score tanks, and then you won't be able to purchase anything, lease anything, rent an apartment, basic life needs. Your mom will have to co-sign for you and save the day. So, doesn't matter how stubborn you are, they will win. They will be victorious, and you will go to jail. I know I always catch myself wondering why we pay taxes anyways, and I think I touched on earlier in this video that I don't even think that our taxes go where they say they're going, but they're definitely annoying, definitely excessive, but I do believe without taxes, public services would collapse, infrastructure would crumble, and society would start looking pretty freaking bleak. So while they do suck, and they are so excessive, I do think that they are necessary, maybe just not half of what we bring in. What the heck? That's crazy. But let's say you still hate taxes and dream of a tax-free utopia. Unfortunately, that world doesn't really exist unless you're cool with living off the grid, somewhere very, very remote, hunting your own food and building your own roads. Sounds exhausting, but kind of relaxing. But exhausting. I just wonder if that's worth 30% of my paycheck, all that labor. So, what happens if you stop paying taxes? The short answer is nothing good. The long answer is stress, financial ruin, possible jail time, and losing your stuff. Not recommended unless you enjoy chaos and handcuffs. And also, tax season is coming up real soon, everybody's favorite time of year. So don't forget to pay your taxes or get ready for jail. If you have a tax horror story or a wild IRS experience, drop it in the comments below. Like this video if you haven't already. And of course, subscribe to Brain Bite so you don't miss anything juicy. We'll see you next time.